Hello, class. Sorry for the late submission. Had a little technical difficulties. I think we got them all ironed out now. So we'll just get right into it. Let's cover up little Gus here because he's distracting. Okay, so we're talking about the skills approach to leadership. So the skills approach to leadership is a leader-centered approach. It states that leaders can learn and develop skills over time to make them better leaders or turn them into leaders. And it says that the knowledge and abilities that you learn over time are essential for becoming an effective leader versus the trait approach where you either got it or you don't. You're born with it or you weren't. So the three skill approach was developed by Robert Kratz in the 50s. He put out an article that kind of laid this out, and these were his three basic concepts. You got your technical skills, human skills, and conceptual skills. So technical skills, as you see here, is knowledge and proficiency in a particular type of work or activity. This is like kind of a hands-on approach and how knowledgeable you are about your product or a service you provide. Human skills, knowledge about the ability to work with people. This is good communication, being able to work with patients, being able to communicate effectively with different departments and through everyone in the organization. And your conceptual skills is the ability to work with ideas and concepts. You know, feeling comfortable with ideas that shape the organization through the mission statements and things like that. All right, so the skills model, this is one that came out kind of in the 90s, kind of expanded upon Kratz's model. It's three categories here: individual attributes, your competencies. Through building up your competencies, it could lead to leadership outcomes, which would be effective problem solving and higher performance. So competencies in here, we got problem solving skills. This is something that I rate myself personally very highly in. I think anybody that works in healthcare can tell you that you're all the time run across things that you've never experienced before, that you've never seen, and you're always having to think on your feet and coming up with new and innovative ways to get things done. So just a little example. Just a couple of days ago, I had to scan a patient, a knee that had an external fixator on it. And if you don't know what that is, here's a little picture. See, it's a little metal cage that goes around whatever the body part is to stabilize the part. See, the issue is, see how big and bulky this thing is, and obviously it's metal, and they want me to put a big metal cage inside of a very powerful magnet. Well, the first thing that comes to mind isn't the issue. This metal is not magnetic, so that wasn't really the issue here, but it's so large and bulky that this is what we normally scan knees with. This is just your basic knee coil. It's very hard, very rigid, and you put your knee in there and you have to clamp this thing down on top of it. So as you can see, this thing's very large. There's not a chance it's going to fit in there. So I had to come up with some way to get a diagnostic image. And normally when somebody's knee won't fit in there, we'll take one of these coils and we'll just wrap it around the knee. But in order to use this, it has to be wrapped all the way around the body part. Well, again, this thing's large and bulky, and there's no way it would fit around it. So what I had to do was take this coil and fold it in half, which is, you're told to never do that because they said it doesn't work. They said there's no way it will work. And I had to slide it in between the bars of this fixator over the knee joint. And then I slid them in there and hoped for the best, and I was able to get something that resembled a diagnostic image, and it was just good enough where the radiologists were able to make a diagnosis and they could see the ligament damage in the knee. And got me a little pat on the back from the doctors. So then next we got social judgment skills. And once again, in healthcare, this is pretty big. If you're not good at this, then you're not going to make it very far, because you have to be able to communicate with if you're hands-on with patients like I am, we have to be able to communicate with the patient's family, with the ordering physician, with the radiologist. There's just a lot of moving parts, and if you're not a very good communicator, then you're not going to be very successful. So, and that's something I have to do on a nightly basis because I work at nights here at the hospital. So it's just me down here. So I have to make sure that I communicate well with everyone, make sure everyone's on the same page. And knowledge, this obviously comes from training and experience, and this more experience you get, more knowledgeable you're going to be within your department. So, and all that, if you're proficient in all these competencies, then you will have effective problem solving skills, and higher performance. Go back to the screen. I took the skills inventory test, and I was trying to be as honest as possible to make sure I got good, accurate scores. And see, on the technical skills, it's kind of what I expected. I got pretty high rating on technical skills. I got 28, which is high. And the human skills, moderate, well, high moderate, 22, and concept 17. So in the next 5 years, obviously I want to work on my conceptual skills. Something I need to work on, and hopefully through this this master's program and work experience, I will get better at that. All right.